kick set, where them hands, where them holes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying? Cecil.
This is why I train in martial arts. So that quote, in case you missed it, is by former President Dwight D. Eisenhower, basically saying that you can make plans to handle situations and things may not go as planned, but if you don't have a plan at all, you're really going to be screwed when a situation occurs. He was talking about warfare, and people would look at that as a plan for productivity. And it came up on my day job. And I thought it definitely would be something that we know applies to martial arts. Because that's really what you're doing when you're studying a classical system. When you're studying forms and you're studying patterns, you're studying one steps, you're learning how to do throws, and you're fitting, and you're learning how to do particular counters. Definitely in competition, you can see that having a plan, having your counters prearranged, having your strategy in competition gives you an edge. Rather than just going out there and reacting to what happens in a moment. That's what I used to do when I competed. I wanted to do something random per se because I wanted it to be as close as I could get to, to a random encounter that could happen to me on the street. Now, that worked for me, but I honestly wouldn't necessarily recommend that for somebody who cares a lot about winning. Because if you do that, you're going to get like the results I got, which also, if you ever read The Art of War, it says that if you know your enemy, what is it? If you know yourself, you beat the enemy about half of the time. But if you know yourself and your enemy, you're going to have more victories. That's definitely showing competition. So if you really want to win, have a plan and study your competition and go take notes on them and things like that. Because it's funny, I did that to myself. But then when I was coaching other people, I did the scouting thing, especially for judo. I had gotten to Roddy Ferguson, some of his DVDs when they were cheaper, and I did the scouting reports. I did something similar when I coached people for Tang Sudo. I went to a couple of tournaments and just observed, and then I coached people after that. But that's what I chose to do. Now, if we want to talk about my main concern, and a lot of people's main concern, is surviving a real encounter, or a street fight, quote unquote. A street fight is still planned because that's two people agreeing to basically fight illegally. But in terms of self-defense, I think you got to have a plan. And I see your hand-to-hand stuff, your empty hand training, that's part of your plan. That's why we have our canned, planned, one-step sparring responses. You may not like them. You may not think they are alive enough, but they're definitely better than having no plan at all. So I just want to say, take a look at that Dwight D. Eisenhower quote. Google it, read some articles about it, think about how it applies to your daily life, how if you go through life without a plan, you're probably going to meet with disaster, even though life doesn't always go according to your plans. And as much as people want to rag on forms, people want to rag on one steps, they want to rag on prearranged drills, even though some of the grappling arts like judo has two-person forms. That's planning. And I can tell you, it's better to have a plan than to not have a plan at all, especially if you don't plan on dying when you're attacked with social violence or, antisocial violence, to avoid being dead because you're victimized by crime. So thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this with people. We like to talk about the martial arts. And if you're near me, look on my website, cecilryu.org, cecilryu.org, for classes you can take at community centers. And peace.